Hello and welcome to English Help Desk. Today we are looking at idioms with brains. Idioms with brains very often mean how well our brains are working, or in some cases, how well our brains don't work. In this video, I'm going to show you a number of different idioms, and I'll then give you a quick explanation of what each idiom means, as well as a couple of examples for each idiom, showing you how the idiom is used in natural conversation. At the end of the video, I'll have a review where I'll show you each idiom again and see if you can remember what the idiom means. So let's have a look at the idioms we'll be looking at today. So our first one is to have someone or something on the brain. Next is one's brainchild. We will also be looking at to pick someone's brain or brains, rack one's brain or brains, have a brainwave, and then we'll finish off with have a brain fart. So let's have a look at the first one. To have someone or something on the brain. So what this means is when we think repeatedly or constantly about someone or something. When we become obsessed and we are unable to think of anything else, then we can use the idiom to have that thing on our brains. Let's have a look at an example. You do nothing but talk about that girl you met last summer. You've got her on the brain. So in this example, I'm talking to someone and they are clearly obsessed with a girl. Whenever I try and have a conversation with this person, all that person wants to do is to talk about this girl that he met a long time ago. In fact, talking to the friend becomes very boring as every conversation is about this one person. I want to talk about things that I'm interested in, but my friend doesn't care. All he thinks about is this one girl, and it's all that he talks about. He's got her on the brain, and if anything, he's become quite a boring friend because that is all that he thinks about. Let's have a look at another example. These days, I just have food on the brain. I can't stop wanting to eat. So here, again, all I can think about is food. I just want to eat all the time. I try and do some work, but I'm just thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch. After lunch, maybe I try and do something else, watch some TV. But again, I'm just thinking about what am I going to cook for dinner? If I have this and this, and maybe I can make this meal. And after I've had dinner, I'm thinking about snacks. I just want to eat snacks all the time. I've got food on the brain and I've become obsessed with food. I can't concentrate on anything else, just food, 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 food. But I'm going to stop obsessing with that and we're going to have a look at the next idiom, which is one's brainchild. One's brainchild. So this means where someone's usually clever invention, plan, or idea. So I think we've all been in this situation where we've come up with something really good. We've had this amazing idea, or we've made a really brilliant plan, and we're very, very, very proud of it. When we tell our plan or our idea to other people, they're amazed as well. And we just feel really, really good about this idea or plan that we've had. And we call that our brainchild. For example, English Help Desk is my own brainchild. So I wanted to be able to teach my students things that I wasn't able to teach them in class. So when I was thinking, how can I do this? How can I talk to my students about idioms when I need to be teaching them about grammar and writing? There's no time in my class to teach idioms, but I know that my students want to learn idioms. And that's when I came up with this idea of creating a YouTube channel to be able to teach my students, as well as many people all over the world, things that I would not normally be able to teach. And I'm really proud of this channel. I think it's a unique channel, a special channel. I really like it, and I know that many of you like it as well. So this channel, this YouTube channel, English Help Desk, is my own brainchild. It's my idea, my invention, and yeah, I'm really proud of it. Let's have a look at another example. Facebook is the brainchild of Mark Zuckerberg. So yeah, Facebook is something that is used by billions of people all around the world. Whether you like Facebook or you hate Facebook, Facebook is something that is really, really important in the internet world. It was created by Mark Zuckerberg. It's his invention. I'm sure he's exceptionally proud of it. Facebook is Mark Zuckerberg's brainchild. Let's have a look at another idiom. So this one is to pick someone's brain or to pick someone's brains. And this means to find out what someone knows or thinks about something by asking questions. Very often when we're picking someone's brains, we're asking for advice. We are uncertain about how to do something, and so we want to get someone else's help, usually someone who knows more about the subject than we do. So yeah, when we pick someone's brains, we're trying to get new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of thinking about something, or new information. So as an example, I need to pick your brains about these statistics before the meeting. So in this example, somebody's about to have a meeting. They've got lots of statistics, lots of numbers, lots of charts, lots of graphs. They don't really understand all the statistics. They don't really understand all the numbers, but they need to before they start the meeting. So they're asking for someone else's advice, someone who knows more about the statistics than they do. So they're picking that person's brain, getting new information from that other person. A second example is, after I spent a few hours picking her brain about study tips, I was able to study better. So here, I'm not very good at studying. I want to be able to study better, but I need to get some advice. So I go to my friend and I talk to her for a long time. I ask her lots of questions, I get lots of new information, and after picking her brains, I'm able to use all that new information to be able to come up with a better way to study. So yeah, pick someone's brains means to get new information, advice, or help from someone else. Let's move on to the next idiom, which is to rack one's brains. So when we rack one's brains, we are thinking very hard to find a solution to a problem. Or when we rack our brains, we are trying to remember something. Yeah, so when we're racking our brains, we're searching through our mind, trying to find information that's hidden somewhere. Either we're trying to remember something that we should know, but we can't find that piece of information in our brains, or we're trying very, very hard to think of a new idea, to solve a problem, to find a solution to an issue that we are having. Let's have a look at an example. Our first example is, I've been racking my brain all day, but I just can't remember that actor's name. So again, I think we've all been in this situation. We're watching a movie or we're watching a TV show and we see someone, we're like, I know that person. Who is that person? Oh, what's their name? Oh, they were in that movie. What movie was it? Oh, gosh, yeah, come on. Yeah, no, I've seen him in lots of different TV shows, lots of movies. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? So yeah, we're racking our brains. We're struggling to remember a piece of information that we should know, but we just can't get that piece of information into the front of our mind. We are just unable to remember it. Sometimes you might rack your brain for a few seconds. Sometimes it can be a whole day. Sometimes it can be months or years. With the internet, things are a little bit easier, but still, I think we've all been in that situation where we're like, I know this, what is it? Anyway, let's move on to our next example, which is, I've been racking my brain, but I just can't think of a good present for my wife. So here I'm trying to find a solution to a problem. I need to buy my wife a present, but I don't know what to get her. It's her birthday. I need to buy something special, but last year I bought her lots of flowers and chocolates. The year before that, I bought her a special book that she really, really loved. Years before that, I bought her lots and lots of special things. But now I just can't think of anything new, anything special that can be on the same level. So yeah, I'm thinking and thinking, what can I buy her? What can I buy her? And I come up with some ideas, but no, they're just not good enough. I need to find something special. What can I buy? What can I buy? So yeah, racking one's brains. You're either trying to remember something that you've forgotten, or you're trying to find a problem trying to find a solution to a problem. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there, and we'll look at brain fart later on. But until then, let's have a look at the next idiom, which is to have a brainwave. Okay, have a brainwave means to suddenly have a clever idea. So again, we've been racking our brains, we've been trying to find that solution, and then suddenly, boom, the idea's there. Of course! Why didn't I think about that before? That is such a good idea. And that is a brainwave, to suddenly have a very clever idea. So, for example, I couldn't think of a good present for my wife, but then I had a brainwave. Jewelry, of course. Instead of chocolates and flowers and special books and all the other things that I bought her, I've never bought her jewelry. That will be special. She will love that. That is an amazing idea. That is a great brainwave. Or another example is, I couldn't think of a second example until I had a brainwave. This is my example. So yeah, when I was trying to come up with examples in preparation for this video, trying to think of another idea to explain brainwaves, I couldn't think of anything until I was like, well, actually, not being able to think of an example is the example in itself. If I talk about how I couldn't think of an example and use that as my example, that is the example. It's a brainwave. It's a great idea. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next idiom, which is the last one, which is to have a brain fart. So, when we have a brain fart, it's when you attempt to remember something very obvious or simple, but you can't. It's when your brain just suddenly stops. And even though you know what you want to say, you're just like, yeah, your brain just stops working. Even though you should know something, you're just like, what's my name again? Yeah. So, as an example, I had a terrible brain fart last night. I forgot my wife's name. She was very unhappy. So again, it's my wife. I've been with her for many, many years. Of course I know her name. But last night when I was like, hi, wife, how are you doing? Yeah, for some reason, I just couldn't remember her name. It was a brain fart. There's no reason for me to forget, but my brain just suddenly went, like that, and her name just dropped out of existence for a few seconds. I remember her name now, of course I do, but in that short time, her name just went poof, and I had a brain fart. Another example would be, I'm having a brain fart and I can't remember what the capital city of England is. Is it Tokyo? No, that's the capital city of Japan. New York? No, that's in America. It's not even a capital city. What's the capital city of England? I know that. I lived there for 3 years. London, of course, the capital city of England is London. Oh, why did I forget that? I must have had a brain fart. So, a brain fart, yeah, when your brain just suddenly goes and you can't remember something very simple and very obvious. Anyway, let's move on to the review. So again, I'm just going to show you each of the idioms again, and I want to see if you can remember what the idioms mean. So our first one was, have someone or something on the brain. Have someone or something on the brain. What did this mean? So this means to think repeatedly or constantly about someone or something. You become obsessed and that's all you can think about. Very often you're not able to concentrate on anything else. All right, the next one was one's brainchild. What does one's brainchild mean? Of course, it means to be someone's usually clever invention, plan, or idea. So yeah, something really, really good that you're very, very proud of. Other people think it's an amazing idea or plan, and that is your brainchild. Pick someone's brain or pick someone's brains. What does pick someone's brains mean? It means to find out what someone knows or thinks about something by asking questions. So yeah, you're asking someone else for more information, help, or advice. And you do that by asking a lot of questions. Rack one's brains. Rack one's brains. What does this mean? It means to think very hard to find a solution to a problem, or it means to try and remember something that you just can't remember very easily. So, the next one is to have a brainwave. Have a brainwave means to suddenly have a clever idea. So yeah, you're trying to think of something and then suddenly, ding, the idea pops into your head and you're like, of course, why didn't I think about that before? And the last one is to have a brain fart. I've had a few of these in this video, but what does have a brain fart mean? Have a brain fart means when you attempt to remember something very obvious or simple, but you can't. Yeah, when your brain just suddenly stops working. That's what a brain fart means. Okay, so that's the end of this video, but why not practice these idioms? The best way to practice is to try and write your own sentences using these idioms. Try and think of examples when you've had a brainwave or when you've had a brain fart. Have there been times when you've picked someone's brains? When have you racked your own brain recently trying to remember something? Have you ever had something on your brain that has stopped you from doing something else? Yeah, try and write down these idioms using your own examples. The more that you use these idioms, the easier it will be to remember them. And if you are proud of your sentences, then yeah, comment below. Put your brainchild out there for everyone else to see. And finally, like and subscribe. Please, I want this channel to get bigger and bigger. I want more people to see these videos, and the best way for you to do that is to like and subscribe, but also tell others about me as well. That way, when you're having a conversation with your friend using English, if you use one of these idioms, they're not going to understand. But if they've also seen this video, then they will, which will make your conversations more firm and more interesting, as you are able to use a lot of these idioms that you've learned in this video and other videos as well. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be back again soon. Until then, bye bye.